One of my most recent clients was an aerospace engineering and design firm, and their particular struggle was attracting young talent to bolster their bottom line so that they could acquire more projects, more contracts that could therefore grow their business. Now, this particular organization, they weren't the size of like Boeing or Northrop Grumman or NASA, right? And those are the places that they're losing potential talent to. So essentially, they need to market their business, market their brand online to people who they can't quite offer the exact same quality employment opportunity that these other companies can. So they're at a disadvantage in terms of marketing themselves to that particular target market of young scientists and engineers. So when they brought me in, the first thing I did was following that three-step process, the what makes marketing work step, where it's all about market research, interviewing and surveying potential customers, which in this case was actually talking to the type of people that this company wanted to hire and finding out what their biggest objections were to working at these big firms and finding out all those areas of competitive differentiation that we could work into the copy. So the result would be when the right type of candidates hit my client's website, they would go, wow, this speaks to me in a way that these other bigger companies don't. I want to go with them. So that's the little scenario we're dealing with. When we launched the website, the owners of the business were at a job fair at a big research university where they knew their target market of potential candidates, engineers and whatnot, would be. So there they are at their booth waiting. Okay, this big website launch, let's hope it works. So what happens is there's an engineer who recently graduated with a doctorate in science. So she's the perfect candidate that a lot of other companies there are wanting to make sure that they get to first. Now she comes up to my client's booth and tears are streaming down this young woman's face. And she says to them, I just read your guys' website. I read every single page. And I just have to say, I cannot believe a company like yours exists. Can I please have an interview? Here's my resume. Now, that type of emotional response where the intention was to get the buy-in from the target market, it actually happened. It actually worked. That type of emotional response isn't an accident. It's not luck where they say, I have to have this. Forget the competition out here. You're the one that I want. That is the result of doing what makes marketing work, which is why I wanted to talk about the combination of the right strategy, the right words equals the results. Because when you're in a position where you know before one word of copy is written, before one landing page is up, before $5 goes to boosting a Facebook advertisement, when you're in a position where your marketing strategist, your copywriter has done the hard work, the homework, as it were, of knowing here is the exact person we're writing for. When they go about writing every single sentence, every paragraph, whether it's, like I said, a marketing email campaign or it's part of a product launch, you can be absolutely certain that you're speaking directly to the customer. It's like you have a bow and arrow and you set up the bullseye, like hitting the buyer's emotions that will motivate them to purchase, that will persuade them authentically and ethically to want to say yes to you over the competition. Now, that gets into a problem that I see often with whether it's a startup or a visionary entrepreneur who's building their third or fourth business. And that is reliance on different marketing tactics. Yes, we're in a position now where digital advertising is outpacing traditional advertising. But just because Facebook ads are working for XYZ companies in your industry doesn't necessarily mean that Facebook ads are going to work in your situation. Doesn't mean that email is going to work. It doesn't mean that any of the tactics that a lot of people are coming to you selling, whether it's, hey, let me build your website, let me do your SEO, let me do this for you, let me do that for you. Just because those tactics are working for other companies doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to work 100% in your situation. So many of the clients that I've had over the years have come to me after they hire those other marketing experts and they say, the stuff just didn't work. And here's the thing. It's not because the tactics were faulty. It was because the tactics were putting a message in front of either the wrong people, so they hadn't properly defined exactly who their target market was, or they were saying the wrong things. They were focusing on, the benefits and features of what a particular product was, rather than putting marketing messages in front of people that can cultivate that emotional response. That is the result of step one of my process, which results in the customer going, wow, I get it. So when you're in a place where your marketing messaging is doing the hard work for you, it's less about the tactics and it's more about the persuasion, about the emotional connection that you're creating with your target market. And that's the power of the right words in your process. And that's why, like I said, we've got the right strategy, the right words leads to the results that we're looking for. Again, that's why there's so many case studies on this page, because my priority as a copywriter is results, not, hey, let's be creative and write good stuff that sounds really cool. It's results. So at this point, you may be thinking that this, doing what makes marketing actually work thing makes sense. Maybe you're in a position where you're launching your first product or your next product, or you just want to scale up your business and bring your marketing communications into the 21st century. So I have something for you. Because there's so many folks out here who talk a big game, but they don't have the case studies and the results to back it up, I want you to be completely confident that you're making a wise investment in your business. So I'm offering, if you'll scroll on down, you'll see a strategic complimentary teardown session that you can request. Now, here's a little bit about this thing. In this free teardown, it's going to last about 30 minutes. You'll share with me where you want your marketing headed. What copy maybe is already written for your website, product launch, or new campaign. And I'll apply a rubric that allows you to see instant, clever, and easy ways that you can, amplify the emotional connection you're creating with your target market. Again, yours a complimentary gift from me. Now, this rubric I just mentioned, it's a tool that I use with clients on a regular basis that has allowed me to produce tens of thousands in profit for them consistently. If you're curious about getting a hold of one of these strategy teardown sessions, then go ahead and scroll down. You'll see the little box and the little button there, and you can go ahead and request a date and a time, and we can get you your teardown session, and you can start putting to use the best practices of persuasion and doing what makes marketing actually work.